Is on the line here with us. Business strategist, workplace consultant, and culture expert. On a survey that says 35% say working from home has harmed their mental health. I don't know what the other percentage is, Cheri, but I've been noticing that people are getting a little batty. Good morning.
I think everybody's getting a little batty this morning. Maybe not just this morning, but every morning right now in the light of, hey, when is this stuff going to end?
Isn't that the truth? A lot of we talk about the kids that are having to go to school on the computer. What do you do with parents that have maybe 3 kids? One of them's 8, one's 12, one's 14, and they have 3 different classes but only one computer. How do you handle that?
Mimosas. Oh, was that bad? Wow, I got to tell you, I'm a mommy of an only child, and he is 23 years old. So I have no idea how they handle that. I think they've got to probably start with a little teaspoon or tablespoon of grace, if you will, just figuring out, doing the best they can, trying to help as much as they can, and just basically dealing with the situation as it unfolds. Especially if you got 3 kids, that's a lot.
Well, yeah, and our daughter does up in Charlotte, and she said, she's thinking of said if you find out if one of them disappears and you see a big mound in the backyard, that might be where they are. But but I mean, everybody's going nuts with this.
Yes, it reminds me of a little meme I saw on Facebook where this wife is outside and husband's peering out the window and says, "Man, my wife's putting together a really nice garden, and of course, I'm not real sure what she's trying to plant." And of course, the area looks like a grave site. Mm-hmm. And he's thinking potatoes. She's thinking the husband's going in. So, yeah, everybody's crazy. Everybody's crazy right now.
Well, Cheri, we do have to get back, and we have said, till we're blue in the face, that the cure cannot be worse than the disease. And that people have to we have to get back to some sort of normalcy because because this economy we shut down. The scary part was that we shut down a $22 trillion economy that was roaring, almost like turning off a faucet because we terrified people. I don't appreciate the media doing this. I don't appreciate the health officials saying at first, 2 million people could die, and now they're down to about 60,000.
Right, and 60,000 is a much smaller number. It's a big number if you have somebody, a loved one, in that number. However, when you take a scenario like this and you flip it around and you make it to where people can't do the things that they normally do, go to work, be productive, interact with people, it is definitely terrifying, to borrow one of your words. I can tell you that one of the things that we're seeing a lot of businesses doing right now is they're making sure that they are checking in with their staff members right now. How are you doing? I know that before this crisis started, I communicated with my staff on a weekly basis. Now it's every day. Hey, it's Monday. How's it going? It's Tuesday. How's it going? And we've got to make sure, just as leaders in our businesses, that we are in tune and in touch with what the employees and the staff members and the leaders in your business are going through. So it's all about communication and connection right now.
It is. We're talking with Cheri Perry, business strategist, workplace culture expert, because 35% say working from home has harmed mental health. And Cheri, we are in uncharted territory because we've never done this. Whether it was back in the Spanish flu back in the 1919s or whenever it was, during World War I or right after. But we did. I know people were scared. We didn't shut down everything. My mother said that growing up, anytime somebody got a summer cold or something, they were terrified because they thought it was polio. And in some cases it was. So if you started getting the sniffles, so we've always grown up and we've always had a society where there is a danger from something.
We have. And I think the biggest danger right now is the danger of what's happening when we do have people in more confined spaces in a real position of uncertainty. And so one thing that I like to tell people is that fear is the opposite of faith. So we've got to know that this too shall pass. This will end. And maybe if people just took just 3 words, first word's perspective, take a look at it. Listen, in the whole scheme of things, hopefully you're not one of the people that's had a family member affected by this particular virus, but there's so many different things that can happen in our lives that throw us for a massive, massive loop. So if you put this in perspective, a month, 2 months, hopefully it doesn't go beyond, much more than that, we can handle pretty much whatever happens. The second word is focus. If you choose to focus on the positive things right now, it's going to make this tragedy, this complete turning off of our economy, it's going to make it a little bit better. So you're not going to gain anything by focusing on the negativity about it. So you may as well choose something that's positive. For an example, you may be spending more time with your 3 kids. I mean, you may be drinking a little more, but you may be spending more time with those children, and that's a blessing in disguise. And then finally, the last word is action. If everybody could just take one action every day that does something in their world to make their life a little better, whether that's cleaning out a closet, maybe taking a class to make yourself better better after this crisis than you were before. Any kind of action that helps you get better is going to help protect and insulate that mental health.
No wonder I'm in such good shape. My wife has said, okay, you need to clean this office, you need to clean that closet out here. Oh, wow, how nice. We need to plant stuff. Okay, well, great. Love being home.
The big crisis after this, right?
Yeah, what's that?
It's shorter honeydew list. That's going to be a big problem.
I'm doubting it. Cheri Perry, business strategist, workplace culture. And Cheri, before we let you go, I think one of the reasons that we're still in these shutdown things is that we have politicians apparently who don't remember that we have a Constitution and a Bill of Rights. They have gotten way too much power when they start telling us what to do. In fact, when Tucker Carlson asked the governor of New Jersey last week, said, "What gave you the authority to cut it to overstep the Bill of Rights?" He said, "Tucker, when we started this, we didn't even think about the Bill of Rights." He said, "Well, no kidding."
Yeah, that's a big shocker right there. I mean, that's a whole radio show unto itself.
True.
I can tell you that if our listeners today really think about the things that they can control, it's going to help. All that stuff that you're talking about right now is still critically important. And I'm telling you, come voting time, we probably need to remember what's happening right now.
You're not kidding. Cheri, where do we go for more information?
You can check out my website at cheriperry.com. Let me spell it. So it's CHERI, P as in passion, ERRY.com. And when your listeners go there, I do have a free report on how to really keep the workplace environment up and as positive as it can be during this difficult time. And let me just close with this. Mr. Ziglar said you can have everything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want. So if you're the mom of the 3 kids, you got to help them have some fun with school and with you. If you're an employer, you got to help people walk through this crisis. If you're an employee, you've got to help your employer be as productive and efficient as possible. We can walk through this. We are Americans, and we're uniquely qualified and wired to walk through a storm. So we'll get through it.
Inspirational, Cheri, and I know it wasn't Zig that said it, but also another one that said there's no amount of how much good you can do as long as you don't care who gets the credit.
There you go.
Okay, thanks, Cheri.
Thank you so much.
Take care. All right, Cheri Perry. You can find her at cheriperry.com, and that's CHERIPERRY, cheriperry.com.